This is video number 2 for PowerPoint module number 2 in the Shelly Cashman textbook on Office 365. We are on page 2-25, inserting and formatting a shape. We want to go to slide 5. We finished on slide 4 before. Go down to slide 5, click on that. And you'll see that when we created it, it was a title with content. And what we want to do is we want to make it a blank slide. There's two ways to do that. You could just go in here and just click on the boxes and hit the delete key, or you can go to the home tab and you can go up here to layout and you can change the layout of an existing slide. And we want to change it to blank. So go ahead and click on blank. Flip over to page 2-26. We are going to insert some shapes on this slide. That's going to be on the Insert tab, and it's going to be under Shapes in the Illustrations group. We want to insert 3 shapes right now. We want to insert a circle. Circle is listed under your basic shapes here. It's the second one. Go ahead and click on it. Now to insert it, you get crosshairs. You can just click any place and it'll draw a default circle. Well, that's kind of a small one, so let's make it a little bit bigger. Okay. The next shape we want to insert is also going to be on our shapes list here. It's going to be trapezoid. Click on that, click over here. And we got a better size on that one. I'm not sure why it was so small on the first one. And then the last thing we're going to insert is another shape. Go to Insert, Shapes. We want an arrow. And here's our arrows down here. We want the one that curved down. So click on that one and just click over here someplace. And again, it just inserted a real small one for me. So if that happens, just get your crosshairs and click and drag to make it a little bit bigger. So now let's go to the top of page 2-27. And what we're going to do is we're going to resize these shapes. If you want to resize them and you're just going to eyeball the shape, you can just go to the lower right-hand corner. Now, when you're doing shapes, it's not enough to go to the lower right-hand corner. You also have to hold the Shift key down if you want to keep it from getting distorted. So I'm holding the Shift key down while I'm dragging this. And if I don't hold the Shift key down and I just click and drag, it gets distorted. So I'm going to undo that with a Control-Z. Now we're back to the original shape that I had here, and we're going to set some specific sizes here. So we're going to set a height of 4 and a width of 3 for this one. So click on it when the shape format ribbon is visible up here. The rightmost part of the ribbon should have a box for the height and the width. We're going to make the height 4, and you can tab or click down, and we're going to make the width 3. Again, you can tab or click someplace on the slide, and then we're going to reposition this so it's entirely on the slide. Let's do the same thing with the circle. Click on the circle, go up here. We're going to make this 4x4 again. Click in the height box, type in a 4 on top of what's there. Click in the width box, type in a 4 on top of what's there. Click back in your slide somewhere. And again, I'm going to have to reposition this to get it all on the slide. Now let's go to our arrow that curves down. Click on that. This one we want the height to be 3. And click on the width box. We want the width to be 13.5. You got the number 13.5 because that's the width of our slides. Go ahead and click someplace on the slide, and there's your arrow. If you click on the arrow and you get a 4-headed arrow here on the edge, you can click and drag it so that the whole arrow appears on the slide. So that takes us through page 30. Now we want to select all of these items on the slide, all 3 of these shapes. And there's a couple of ways to do it. We can just click on one, control click on the other, control click on the other. We've got them all selected. That's not hard to do if you've only got a handful of items. But if you got more than that, you might want to go up here and choose select all. This is on the home tab, select all. So the reason you might want to select them all is so you can format them all the same way. And that's exactly what we're going to do right now. We can stay on the home tab for this. We're going to go to our quick styles option up here. And the one we want is the last row, the second item. It should say gradient fill, light blue, accent 1, no outline. Go ahead and select that, click on it. And now we should have objects that are a little bit lighter at the top and darker blue down at the bottom. If we want to deselect these, just click someplace off of the picture. And now your slide should look like this. Let's go to the top of page 2-33. We're going to make a copy of our trapezoid, so click on it once. And rather than going up to the home tab and doing copy and paste, we're just going to do the keyboard shortcuts on these. So do a Control-C. Now it's copied on the clipboard. Now do a Control-V. It gets pasted in almost directly on top of the existing one, but we want it over here on the left side somewhere. So just click and drag it over to the left side. Now we're going to add some text. We're at the bottom of page 2-33. Click on the first trapezoid. If you want to add text to a shape, all you have to do is select it and just start typing your text. So we want remembers your preferred temperatures. Click on the circle. The text on the circle should be turns itself up or down. Click on the last trapezoid. We're now on the top of page 2-34. And the text here can be controlled from anywhere using phone, tablet, or laptop. Now we're on the bottom part of page 2-34. So now we're going to select all the shapes except for the arrow. So if the first trapezoid is not still selected from the last operation, go ahead and click on it, and then hold Shift down and click on the circle, hold Shift down and click on the other trapezoid. Now we've got everything selected except for the arrow. Okay, so we want to format these three things exactly the same way. Now we're at the top of page 2-35. So we want to go to the Home tab. We want to make these bold, or you can do a Control B. We want to give them a shadow. That's what this button is for. We want to click the font arrow here, font color arrow, and we want to use the dark blue from the standard colors. Next to last one. And we want to change the font size of those to 20. Flip over to page 2-36. Click the arrow. Should deselect the other three shapes, and the arrow should be the only thing selected now. Still on the Home tab, we've got some drawing things up here that make it a little bit easier to work with slides in PowerPoint. Go up here to Shape Fill. Click on Green under Standard Colors, and the arrow should turn green. And we'll stop video number 2 right there, and we'll pick up on the bottom of page 2-36 on video number 3.